Welcome to Electronic Resources 101, Streaming Media through the Evergreen Library. My name is Ray, she, her. I'm the Electronic Resources Librarian at Evergreen. I also help coordinate the research desk and rare books room. But in this video, I'll be talking all about streaming media, how to find them either through the catalog or through the individual platforms, use them, request them, and what to do when you need help. So first, let's see how to find and use streaming media through the library. The very best place to start is the library homepage at evergreen.edu/library. If you scroll just a bit down to the Search the Library Catalog box, you can plug in a search term, either the film title, a filmmaker, or maybe one of the actors. I'm going to put in Julie Dash, who is a filmmaker, and click Search. Once you click search, you'll be taken into the library catalog, and you might notice that there's a lot of different results that you get. There's a print book and an ebook here, but what I'm looking for is a streaming video. So I'm going to click on all items underneath the search box and go to film and video. You'll maybe have to click the magnifying glass over on the right, that search button, again, in order to apply that filter. But here you see 2 DVDs listed, and there's lots of other results that you just can't see on the screen. Film and video will filter your results to include only DVDs, VHSs, and streaming videos. To filter again for only online content, you can go over on the left and click on Full Text Online, and that will pull up your streaming films. I'm going to click on the first one here, Daughters of the Dust. This box will pop up, which is the catalog record, and it has Daughters of the Dust, the title of filmmakers, directors, screenwriters, some actors listed here, and it says full text available, which is great. There's a send to area, which are a variety of different ways that you can send this catalog record to other people. But what we really care about is the availability and request options, where you'll see the Kanopy link there next to full text available at. There's also a public note that says expires 12/14/21. What does that mean? So Kanopy is one of our film platforms that we have at the library. And on Kanopy, we purchase films individually, title by title. So requests come in from faculty members and students, and we purchase them if we have the available funds. They get added to our collection. And all these titles expire within a year, so we make sure to include that expiration date in this record so that you know if it's available for your class, for your presentation, or what have you. If it does expire before you need it, you can just contact us and let us know. But I'm going to click on Kanopy, that link there, which will take you to this page. If you haven't logged in yet, you'll have to log into your Evergreen account using your username and password, usually your email and password. And this is the platform after you've logged on. And you'll see that there's this login sign up button in the upper right, and you might be thinking, why? I just logged in. This is for a personal account. So if you want to have a personal Kanopy account that's linked to the Evergreen Library, you can create one there. That will allow you to collect films into your own collection. It'll also allow you to create clips and to stream on a smart TV or tablet. If you click play on the film, you'll see some other tools there, the play button, volume control. You can speed it up. You can click on CC for closed captioning to turn captions on and off. And the last icon there is the full screen. Underneath the title, there's various other buttons that you can use. The plus my list will add this film to your list if you have a personal account. It's one way to organize all the films that you want to see on Kanopy. The second option there is share. That'll pull up the share link, which is a direct URL to this film on this platform. And it's a way for you to share this film with your classmates or your instructor or your students. If you click on embed, that is a little string of code that you can copy and paste into your Canvas course, which enables your students to play this film directly through your course, so they don't have to go searching through the catalog. The next option is create clip. You'll need an account, but you can create clips for all these films in Kanopy. For instance, if you only want your students to view the first 15 minutes of a film, or maybe you're giving a presentation and you want to share an individual scene from a film, you can create a clip by using this button, and that will generate a link to that clip that you can share with others. And the last option there, more, that's where you'll find the transcript. All these films have full transcripts, which is really handy if you want to see when a certain person or event or word is mentioned in the film. You can find it by searching the transcript. Underneath that is a citation tool, which will help you generate a citation for this film. It is generated by a computer, so I would definitely double check it for capitalization, make sure the style is correct. You'll see on the right there's related videos, which gives you an idea of what kind of content Kanopy offers. Kanopy is really great at offering independent films, foreign films, feature films. They focus on academic content, but this is kind of a selection of what you can find there. You can also browse right next to the search box by subject to see what else we have, but the very best way to find streaming content is through the catalog, so let's go back there. Now I'm searching for RBG, which is a documentary about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I'm searching with the film and video filter selected, as you can see. So here's the record, and it looks pretty similar to the other film. The only difference is that the link is different. It says Academic Video Online, AVON, also known as Alexander Street. It has many names, and there's no expiration date. That means that this platform is a subscription platform. That basically means that we purchase the entire collection as a subscription, so we pay for it yearly. And titles are sometimes deleted, but more than likely added. So there's no set expiration date for these titles, but sometimes contracts between Academic Video Online and the filmmaker expire, and the filmmaker would like to pull that film. That usually happens twice a year in a batch over winter and over summer. So they may not always be available, but for the most part, they will be. Let's click that link and see what AVON looks like. So here's this platform, and as you can see, it does say Alexander Street in the upper left. So it goes by many names, but it takes you to this full screen view here of the film where you can click play. There's some controls in the bottom right. Cite this video, search the transcript. It's where you'll turn the captions on and off and go completely full screen so you don't have to see all the other menu options. But the best way to navigate through this film is at the top. So as you can see, we are on full screen. I'm going to click on transcript. And if you play the film in this view, you'll see that the transcript on the right is highlighted to where we are at in the film. You can also search the transcript at the top. If you click on details, there is a summary of the film, the release date, performers, producers, lots of other information that you will need to know in order to talk about this film. If you click on clips, you'll see that there's some auto-generated clips listed to the right. Right now we're looking at Ruth's past. You can see that on the right as well. If you click the three dots to the right of those boxes, you can copy a direct link to those individual clips that you can share. You can also create your own clips by signing in to a personal account at the top. If you click on share, that will give you the permalink, which is the first link. That's the direct URL to this streaming video on this platform. Underneath that is the embed code. That's for embedding into your Canvas course or web page. It'll still make you sign in with your Evergreen credentials, but it's one way to make it a little bit easier. And then Cite will help you generate a citation for this film. In this platform, you can also export citations to Zotero or other programs that you may be using. If you want to browse through this platform, you can click on the 3 lines in the upper left, go to Channels, and then All Channels, and that will show all of their subject and producer-based channels. The first one is the American Civil War, but there's many more underneath. And then there's some popular channels listed on the top, some of which are provider channels, such as Film Platform, BBC, PBS. There's also channel types that you can sort by, persons, series, historical events. So that's a good way to browse. You can also search using the search box in the upper right. But again, if you search through the catalog, you're searching across all of our platforms. So I'm searching for Roy Cohn right now, and here's the catalog record for this film. And it's available through Films on Demand. You'll see that there's no expiration date. So this is also like Alexander Street Press, where it is a subscription collection. The difference between Alexander Street Press and Films on Demand is pretty minimal. Alexander Street Press or AVON or Academic Video Online is a larger collection, but both of these platforms have a lot of clips, have a lot of how-to videos, have a lot of educational content, but they also have documentaries. They also have news clips and some feature films. So let's click on Films on Demand and see what's there. This is what the platform looks like. Over on the right, you'll see segments, which is just another word for clips. There are no automatically generated segments for this film, but most films on Films on Demand do have them. If you click on transcript, you can follow along in the transcript. You can search it as well. You can even download the full transcript by clicking that download button next to the search box. Underneath the film, you'll see buttons to share. The record URL is the direct URL to this film on this platform. You can also see the embed code below that. The Add To button will allow you to add this to your personal collection. You can create a personal account on Films on Demand as well. You can create a personal account on all these platforms if you'd like. You can also cite this film. That'll auto-generate a citation. You can also create your own segments, which is just another way to say clips. You'll have to sign in, but just like Alexander Street and just like Kanopy, you can create segments if you just want to share a specific segment of the film. To browse Films on Demand, you'll click that 3-line menu in the upper left. Then you can browse by subject, category, and producer. Let's check out another film. I'm going to search for Catch-22. This film is available on Swank, which is yet another platform that we have. And you'll notice that there's an expiration date, which signifies that on this platform, we purchase films individually, title by title, and they typically expire 1 year after we purchase it. On this platform, it's a little bit more simple with a little bit less functionality. So you have your controls in the bottom right, volume, full screen, that 3 dots, that's how you turn on and off the captions and select different audios if they're available. If you scroll down, there's a little bit of information about the film. There's also the expiration date listed there, which is helpful. There's no transcripts available on Swank, unfortunately, but that CC icon means that there are closed captions, which is good. If you click on share and copy the direct link, that is the direct URL to this film on this platform. If you want to browse what else we have on Swank, you can click on return to catalog. That'll take you here, and these are all of our films, kind of a small collection, so it's easy to browse, and these were all requested by faculty or students. Swank offers mostly popular films, newer films, feature films, so usually if we can't find it on any other platform and it's a little bit newer, this is where we'll go to find it. There's some options in the upper right to search and filter, but it's a small collection. Back of the catalog, here's another film available on a different platform called Docuseek. And as you can see, there's a link and it says perpetual streaming access. instead of an expiration date. Perpetual streaming access means that we have access to this film for the life of the file, which means that as long as this film is on Docuseek, we have access to it. So there's no set expiration date. And if you see the perpetual streaming access, that's what that means. Just click on Docuseek. Docuseek is another platform that we purchase title by title, and it's mostly documentaries, mostly educational documentaries. Pretty simple platform like Swank, not much functionality though. If you click on play, those are your controls, play, volume control, captions off and on, and full screen mode. There's an embed link below the video player. That's where your embed code will be, and that permanent link is the URL to this specific film on this specific platform. There's some buttons below that, description, reviews, credits. If you click credits, you can auto-generate a citation, and then there's a cataloging button there. It's just various different information about the film. If you want to browse our complete collection on Docuseek, you can just click on Browse in the top, and there you'll see all of our films. A pretty small collection. You don't necessarily need to search, but if you do need to, you can use the filter results box to the right. So you may be asking, where are all these platforms listed? If you become really familiar with Kanopy, with Swank, with Alexander Video Online, and you just want to search within the platform itself, you might be wondering, how do I get there? Well, all the platforms are listed on our database list page, which can be accessed by going to the homepage, evergreen.edu/library, and underneath that search box is Research Databases. If you're already in the catalog, you can also click on Article Databases at the top. That'll take you to the same page, this page, which is all databases, and you can filter by content, which is that middle filter box. And as you can see, there's 7 streaming media platforms that we have through this list. We have 6 that are purchased by the library, and I think 1 additional one that is free online. But that's where you'll find links to all of these individual platforms if that is the way you want to search. So I'll go over a little bit about how to request films. If you've searched the catalog and you can't find what you need, how do you go about requesting them? If you go to evergreen.edu/library, our homepage, and scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's our hours listed, and there's also a link to make a purchase request. If you click that link, you'll be taken to this page, or you can just bookmark this direct URL at the top, and you can suggest a library purchase of any kind. First, it tells you to check our catalog, which maybe you've already done. And then if you need an individual journal article or book chapter, you might want to use interlibrary loan. But if you've already done all that and you still want to suggest a library purchase, click on the login link all the way at the bottom, and it'll take you to a form. You'll have to log in with your Evergreen credentials in order to fill it out, but that will go directly to our acquisitions and be considered for purchase. If you want to reach out directly to acquisitions because maybe you have a question, maybe you want to cancel your request, that email is listed right there, lib-acquisitions@evergreen.edu. Streaming media is a bit different. You can actually request films through 2 of our platforms, Kanopy and Swank. So I'll show you how to do that. If you're in Kanopy and you're searching for a film, and it says there's no results, but then it says there's 2 videos you can request. If you click on that video, you'll be taken into this screen and scroll down, and there'll be a form that you can fill out and request us to purchase this film for your class or your research. That goes directly to me, the Electronic Resources Librarian, and I will respond to see what we can do. Swank is a little bit similar. You can log in the upper right corner. If you don't have an account already, you can create an instructor account. That will enable you to browse all the films available through Swank, not just the ones we've already purchased, and you can make individual requests then. Those also go to me, and I will respond to you as soon as I can. So I'll talk a little bit about individual versus institutional licensing. You may have noticed that I did not mention Hulu, Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, HBO Max, or the variety of individual platforms that you may subscribe to at your own home. I mentioned the institutional ones, the ones on the right. And there's kind of a gray area between these two different kinds of platforms. So in order to make things available institutionally for all students, faculty, and staff members, we have to purchase institutional licensing, which is more expensive and usually only available on institutional platforms. So some content on Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney Plus are exclusive to those platforms. If you see something like Netflix original series or Hulu exclusive film, that means that it is only available on those platforms, and sometimes the library cannot purchase them. But it's always good to check, and you can reach out for help. There are some free individual platforms, though, and here's a selection listed here. You may be familiar with Vimeo or YouTube. Those are kind of content generator platforms. Sometimes things are removed from these platforms. It's out of our control. They're not controlled by the library, so do keep that in mind. But it's an alternative, and I found some good stuff there. The Internet Archive, PEN America, Open Video Project, Khan Academy are pretty related, kind of library or academic supported, so they're a little bit more stable in terms of things existing and continuing to exist on those platforms. Tubi and Crackle are more commercial individual platforms. They both have commercials, and that's okay. It's kind of the main caveat, but you'll find more feature films and TV shows that maybe you think are only available on Netflix, but they're also available for free. So a few notes about virtual screenings. Since we've gone virtual as a college, there have been a lot of questions about screening films for classes. So here are some tips that I can offer. The first one is about public performance rights and screen sharing. So most of our streaming videos do allow public performance rights, which basically means that in an educational setting, when you're not charging a fee, you can screen these films in person. That doesn't always translate virtually. You'll notice that maybe you've tried to share a screen for Kanopy films or Swank films, and you just see a black box. That's because those films have special protections against screen sharing. So keep that in mind if you want to try to screen a film. Another thing I've learned is asynchronous is better than synchronous. If you want your students to watch a film that's available on, let's say, Films on Demand, the best way to do that is asynchronously, is to give them some time to watch it on their own through the individual platform on whatever device they have. That enables them to kind of work through whatever broadband issues or internet access issues they may have, instead of just doing it all at once, which may have all of those issues arise. Also, make sure it's accessible. All our films have closed captioning. All of our films, well, for the most part, have transcripts. And some of our films are even audio described, which I'll get into a little bit. But definitely make sure it's accessible for your students. And if you need help, contact the library. We're here to help you with all of this. If you just need some advice, let us know. So what do you do when you need help? The first place I would go is the Electronic Resources Guide, which may be where you found this film. This is what it looks like. There's tabs for ebooks, journals and articles. Here's the one for streaming media. And it'll walk you through how to find streaming media through the catalog, much like I've done. There's a list to the platforms. There's a link to the platforms. There's also a link to the Evergreen Visual History Archive. And the archives at the Evergreen Library also has some cool links for audiovisual resources there if you're looking for Evergreen specific content. If you go to Open Access and OER, these are all the free stuff that you can use to have free, openly accessible textbooks, audiobooks, databases, journals. And here's the free films and video platforms. There's also art and images, open sheet music, lots of cool open free stuff there. There's an accessibility tab, which is new. It'll go through the accessibility features of all of our electronic resources. And here's the section on streaming media. It goes over closed captioning, full transcripts, and then here's a link to all of our audio described films. Academic Video Online is the platform that offers audio described films. If you click on that link, it will pull up a search result for all of them. If you're searching yourself, you can just do with audio description in your search, and it should pop up. If you want a specific film that's available on this platform to be audio described, just let us know. We can make that request, but it does take a few months for that to happen, so make sure it's well in advance. There's also a technology support tab here that will walk you through a few technology tips. And you probably noticed that my contact information is here, and also the Ask a Librarian chat icon is here. So if you need to reach out, those are two places you can do so. You can email the library at libraryhelp@evergreen.edu. You can click that chat icon, Ask a Librarian, that's all over our pages and our guides. While we're still virtual, you can drop into Zoom. Zoom hours are on the library homepage, and you can drop in all spring quarter. And also, you can keep in touch with us via the library newsletter and social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Thanks for watching.